Hello, and welcome back to acrosstao.ai. That's acrosstao.ai. I just wanted to thank you for spending time together today. And I just wanted to thank you for spending time giving yourself permission to slow things down and to focus, giving you the opportunity to become just that much closer to whomever you are and to whomever you're to become. And you see, the reason why that's exciting is it's because it's all up to you. That's right. It's all up to you. So now, give yourself permission to slow things down and to focus. Today, we're going to practice to the Tao Te Ching. That's the Tao Te Ching as inspired and interpreted by Dr. Wayne Dyer. And just as a mind experiment, we're going to assemble a crossword puzzle of Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis, some of the most beloved, respected, and inspiring people. So, what you're looking at right now on your screen is the unassembled puzzle of Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis. And you'll notice all the pieces just kind of strode about on the board. And when you look up in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, you'll see a picture of Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis. Again, some of the most beautiful minds and beautiful people of their time. So what we're going to do today is we're going to assemble this puzzle of them while again meditating to the Tao Te Ching. So let's go ahead and work on getting ourselves started here. We're going to start out with 3 cleansing breaths. That's 3 cleansing breaths. Let's give it a go here. 1. Followed by clapping our hands 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And as you sit there, pressing your left palm to your right palm of your hands, now rub your hands together Notice how your palms of your hands kind of heat up, kind of feel, shall we say, electrified. I can feel that. All right. Just give yourself a moment to slow things down into focus. And we're going to start into a Tao Te Ching meditation. Here we go. I choose to enjoy living the great mystery. The Tao that can be named is not the Tao. I just noticed I was too much into building the puzzle, and I was not meditating to the Tao Te Ching. Let's give this another try. I choose to enjoy living the great mystery. The Tao that can be named is not the Tao. When my work is done, it is forgotten. That is why it lasts forever. I know that there is no way to happiness Happiness is the way. The all-providing Tao is empty, yet inexhaustible. I will work at eliminating all my judgments of others. I pay attention to my inner callings and apply my own uniqueness to everything I undertake. It is through selfless action I will experience my own fulfillment. I live in accordance with nature and therefore never go against the way of things. When my cup is full, I will stop pouring. I suspend my belief in opposites by seeing myself and all. The usefulness of what is depends on what is not. I choose to ignore the seductive lure of acquisition and fame. I see myself as everything. I love myself as everyone. Discovering how things have always been brings me into harmony with the way. The place of my origination is stillness, from which all creation originates. Amidst the rush of worldly comings and goings, I observe how all endings become beginnings. trust that others do know what is best for themselves. I act virtuously. I do not need any rules to be kind and just. I am moral, profitable, and a genius extraordinaire, regardless of what goes before me. I am doing nothing. Rather, I am being done. How do I know the way of all things at the beginning? I see it within myself. I resist any brokenness by being flexible and bending when storms appear. In all of nature, no storm can last forever. Boasting or showing off are superfluous excesses. This practice must be uprooted, thrown out, and left behind forever. I come from greatness. I attract greatness. I am greatness. I have the ability to stay poised and centered, regardless of what goes before me. What is a good man but a bad man's teacher? What is a bad man but a good man's job? As I preserve my original qualities, I can do or govern anything. I live with radical humility. I allow my life to unfold naturally. There's a time for being ahead. There's a time for being behind. There's a time for being in motion. There's a time for being at rest. There's a time for being vigorous. There's a time for being exhausted. Whatever I fight weakens me. What I cooperate with strengthens me. I allow my life to unfold naturally. There's a time for being ahead. There's a time for being behind. There's a time for being in motion. There's a time for being at rest. There's a time for being vigorous. There's a time for being exhausted. I am replacing my desire for power over others with my efforts to understand and master myself in any and all situations. The things we love, we have to learn to leave alone. Boasting by claiming greatness. I will not achieve greatness. you look for it, there is nothing to see. When you listen for it, there is nothing to hear. When you use it, it cannot be exhausted. This is the great Tao. The Tao does nothing, but leaves nothing undone. I trust my essential nature. I let go of all polarities and I live in the indivisible oneness of Tao. Goodness and goddess are one, and I trust who I am, a child of God. I am a piece of the whole, and I act in accordance with the wholeness of Tao. By falling away, I will not become complicated, extraordinary, or prominent. Rather, I will become subtle and simple and uncomplicated. I release attachment to all objects, status, people, and institutions. I gain by losing. I lose by gaining. The softest of all things overrides the hardest of all things. I let go of my need for more and live in a state of pure gratitude. Giving is replacing my demands for more. The experience of inner peace is my true gauge of all accomplishments. There is no greater loss than losing my connection to the Tao. I find the bliss of eternity in my contentment. Without going out the door, I can know the world. Without looking out the window, I can see the ways of heaven. In order to enlighten my experience of the Tao and live by its principles, I practice decreasing my reliance on things. It is my choice to be kind to those that are kind. It is my choice to be kind to those that are unkind, because the nature of my being is kindness, and that is all I have to give away. I am a immortal spiritual being having a temporary human experience. The great Tao has no expectations for me, no demands, no battles or wars to fight, and no history to live up to. All under heaven have a common beginning. This beginning is the mother of the world and my eternal mom. If I have even a little sense, I should walk in the great way, and my only fear would be straying. I live honorably. I see myself in all others. I am like a great wave of energy that illuminates a room. Everyone will see the light and become affected. I attract the cooperative power of the Tao when I release the need to control anyone's life, including my own. Those who know do not talk. Those who talk do not know. The less I care about the approval of others, the more approval I will receive. I work at allowing all others to trust in my highest nature rather than imposing my rules and regulations on them. Moreover, I'm free to be myself. I do not have to live by anyone else's rules. Bad fortune has good fortune hiding within it. And good fortune is what bad fortune hides in. living without limits by gathering virtue and modeling it. When I refrain from thoughts of harm directed towards others, all the benefits of life accumulate to me. My loved ones and I cannot and will not be affected by the presence of evil anywhere in the world. By staying calm and under the radar, others will ultimately join me in friendship and trust. I am a divine creation of Tao, as are all others. I cast out no one. Rather, I cast out wickedness by elevating others with my deeds. I see simplicity in the complicated. I can do great things when they're small. I can get anywhere from here. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. A tree grows from one seedling. A tower starts with one brick. as I know that I do not know, I will be guided to find my own way. I do not put myself above others or see myself as superior to anyone. I am like the great ocean because I stay low, and thus I am a servant to all. I live the three treasures of mercy, frugality, and humility in all of my dealings with others. Whatever I fight weakens me. What I cooperate with strengthens me. There is no greater misfortune than feeling like I have an enemy. For when I and enemy exist together, there is no room for God. I want to think like God thinks, to act as God acts, to live a God-realized life. trust that a happy, contented mind that is sick of being sick will have a happy, contented body. By staying in a state of awe and bewilderment, I loosen ego's hold on my thinking. My body is perfect, born at precisely the right time, and this is my perfect age. I accept myself as I am, and I surrender to the natural course of my body's destiny. It is heaven's way to conquer without striving. The Tao does everything without needing to attack. It is my intention to emulate heaven's way by listening more, speaking less, and trusting that my answers will come without any screaming. I slow my pace so that it harmonizes with heaven's way. I realize that all things change, and therefore there's nothing for me to hold on to. By not fearing death, there is nothing that I cannot achieve. I place fewer and fewer demands upon others, and especially on myself. I'm free to commune with nature, work, play, read, or just do nothing. I choose to be strong by being soft and pliable rather than inflexible, brittle, and hard. I can keep on giving because there's no end to my wealth. I am pleased to offer my surpluses to others. I remain serene in the midst of sorrow, and therefore prevent evil from entering my heart. Someone must risk returning injury with kindness, or hostility will never turn to goodwill. I choose to close out any future conflict with love and kindness. I choose to live in a state of radical appreciation. I give humble thanks for all that I have. Paradise is wherever I am. I choose to live by accumulating less, giving more, arguing less, and releasing my attachment to everything in the world, up to 10,000 things. Well, as you can see, I didn't complete today's puzzle of Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin, who are some of the most beloved people of their time, in my opinion, and possibly and hopefully your opinion as well. And for those that have a few more minutes, if that's okay, I'd like to share with you some impressions I had today during the meditation. And for those that don't have the time, that is fine. Please go ahead and complete your meditation and go about your day and enjoying it, and then seeing things more clearly, and then having appreciation for even the little things, and realizing that when you choose to appreciate people and you choose to appreciate the experience of things as you go through them in your journey of life, it's that appreciation, that feeling of love, that feeling of warmth, that feeling of happiness. It's those things that just might help to propel you through your day. Just might. And as my dad used to say, you can choose to be happy, or you can choose to be sad. Now, let me give you his punchline. Are you ready for it? Because you know, they both pay, get this, the same. Do you get it? They both pay the same. Is that not clever? Ponder on that for a second. Let me share with you my interpretation of that, which I gotta tell you, it took me a long time to catch on, and I'm still working and building on that. But let's go over that phrase again. You can choose to be happy, or you can choose to be sad. And here's the punchline. Because they both pay the same. Have you ever heard that phrase before, that like things attract? Well, if you choose to look at it this way, that is natural law, isn't it? And in fact, if you look at magnetics, oh, wait a minute. Is that true? Well, I don't have any magnets to test that on right now. But here's what I know. When I'm sad, it's very easy, almost incredibly easy, to give myself permission to continue to be sad. In the fact that I can easily focus on things, many things, that are unpleasant or unhappy, situations, people, end results, outcomes. Yeah, let's not stay there though. When I choose to be happy, it's quite the opposite, isn't it? Haven't you noticed that? When you're happy, how much easier it is to see what? To see the good. To see the good in things. To see the good in people. And to even see the results in a different mindset. Almost giving yourself permission to step outside. That's right, to step outside of your preconceived ideas of what's possible and what you don't believe is possible, and to see things from a different perspective. So here's the challenge of the day, and choose it if you will. Here's the phrase again. I hope I'm not boring you, by the way. Here's the phrase again. You can choose to be happy, or you can choose to be sad. And here's the punchline. They both, what? Pay the same. They pay the same exactly. So here's the choice, or the challenge, or the request, or the happiness you may encounter by choosing what? To be happy. Is it possible that you'll see things in a different light? Is it possible that you'll see things that perhaps you haven't seen before because you were focusing on what? The opposite of happiness. And is it possible that you'll see the possibilities in the very encouraging thing or things that could happen by seeing things in a positive light? Well, I can tell you what I'm choosing. I'm going to choose to be happy. And I'm going to choose to see the good. And I'm going to choose to see the possibilities. Because just as Lao-Tze would say, when you lock in, you lock out. And I'm a believer of that. So I'm going to choose to lock in on happiness. And I'm going to choose to see the possibilities around me, the very exciting world, and the very refreshing experience that you can have when you choose to see the goodness, when you choose to see the greatness, and when you choose to realize the very real possibility that we all may very well come from a higher power. No matter what you may choose to call that high power. And in my case, I am believing there is a high power. And I'm believing that higher power is there to grant me free will, and is there for me when I choose it. Okay. Yeah, this meditation has lasted a very long time. But I wanted you to know that I do truly appreciate your time today. And I want you to know that, well, let's use one of the phrases from the Tao Te Ching, or at least the interpretation as provided by Dr. Dyer. Here it is. I come from greatness. I attract greatness. I am greatness. I come from greatness. I attract greatness. I am greatness. You know what? I'm very excited to have you here today because you are what? Greatness. Okay. 3 claps of your hands. Rub your left and your right palm together. Three cleansing breaths. I hope today's meditation was just as relaxing as it was for you, as it was for me. And I'd like to thank you for joining today's meditation to the Tao Te Ching, as well as for those of you that chose to do your own virtual puzzles, or maybe even physical puzzles, while this meditation was going on. I'd like to congratulate you. Why? I think it's mind experiments like this that help us to grow our spatial learning. Chances are, for people like you that already knew about puzzles and already enjoyed doing them, and people that are really good at it, like some of my relatives are, particularly my wife. She's awesome at puzzles, and my aunt is awesome at puzzles, and other people that I know. Anyhow, it helps you with your spatial learning, and it could be that spatial learning is a very important thing for us all to learn, and for us all to improve on and become better at. So, again, thank you for joining us at acrosstao.ai. That's acrosstao.ai. And if you're still listening, thank you so much for your time. And thank you so much for this experience. I come from greatness. I attract greatness. I am greatness. Until the next time, visit us again
at acrosstao.ai.
This concludes our meditation for today. Goodbye.